Good morning, welcome back to another video. Today I thought I'd do a video about something that I've not actually seen anything about on YouTube. So around Christmas, when I asked for video ideas, I think it was Ched said, could you do a video on hose management? So today I'm just going to start filming a video about hose management in window cleaning. So when I started window cleaning, I was using a backpack and barrels of water in my van and in my car. So that actually is a lot easier when you're moving around because you can just move the backpack to the next window in the next section of the house. And then it was after about a year and a half, 2 years, I actually got myself a van system with a 100-metre hose, and then that suddenly proved to be a lot of problems. How do you manage a hose that's 100 meters? Where do you start on the property? Do you start at the back? Do you start at the front? How do you pull out the hose so that you've got the right amount? How do you reel it back in again and get it back to the van without getting in a tangle? I remember the first day that I used a hose, 100-meter hose, every job it was in a tangle and a knot, and it took a little while before you work out the best way of using it, and now it becomes second nature. But for those that are starting out, sometimes it can be a bit tricky knowing how to manage such a long hose and working maybe in tight areas and round corners and in between obstacles. So I'm not saying that I do it absolutely perfect, and there's probably many ways that you can pull out a hose and manage it, and different ways of going about the job. But what I try and do is first of all, it's you've got to decide where the best place to park the vehicle is. So for me, the hose comes out the side door, so I have to make sure that the property I'm cleaning is on the correct side. That's the first thing that makes it a lot easier. Obviously, if the hose comes out the back of your van, you need to make sure you're parking in the right location so you can pull that hose out to the property. The next thing that I try and do is I always try and take the hose to the furthest part of the house first. That might not necessarily be the front or the back. It depends, obviously, where your access is. Sometimes you park around the back of the house, so you would pull the hose around to the front, but a lot of the times you can park at the front or the side, and then you pull the hose out the furthest that you possibly can. This means when you clean the other side of the property, you've got enough hose to be able to get all the way around without having to waste time going back to the van to pull out a little bit more. This property that I'm cleaning now, the front is just around this corner, and the terrace of houses is behind me. The rear access is just by that wheelie bin. So the idea for me here is I pull out the hose around the corner to that wheelie bin, and then I have enough for me to be able to get a hose all the way around to the front. That's just how I work on this property. But throughout the day and over the next week or so, I'll be filming me pulling out the hose and using the hose, and hopefully we'll get some good examples of the best way to do it. Okay, so we start on this job here just by pulling out the hose. Now, quite often a hose will not pull around the corners in between cars and that sort of thing. It's all right here actually, because I can get it around this corner, and I know that this is the gate that I've got to go in. So the idea is I go past the gate, what I think is enough to get into the garden. I know they're about there, and then I leave the end by the gate ready. Because this is a road, I obviously had to go back and check I wasn't blocking anything on the road. And as I'm working away from the van, quite around there, I'm just going to shut the door and make sure it's all locked up. When I've finished cleaning one side of the house and I've got to move to the other side, I normally just pick up the hose right by the connection and hold it with the pole and just let this all drag behind me. It does get caught occasionally on things, but I find that's the best way of doing it. And then you just head out the gate, and it all pulls behind you. You've got to keep an eye on it as it comes out. And then I will walk away till the hose is clear of the gate. Lean the pole up somewhere and go back and shut and lock the gate. At the end of every clean, when I'm packing away, I disconnect the pole and the hose reel, put the pole in the van, and then using a microfiber cloth, I clean one every day. I wipe the hose as I'm putting it away, and because I've done this so many times, the hose sort of has a memory in it, and I coil it up so that it's nice and neat, and then it keeps the van tidy. As you can see, all my hoses are coiled up neatly and tidy, so that they're not in a tangle for the next job. Right, this is another good example of a different way of pulling out the hose. So this property here, I have to go down the steps and round the corner. There's quite a lot of pots and plants and that sort of thing, always in the way. So I'm not able to just walk from the van straight around the corner. So what I tend to do is pull out quite a bit to the steps, as much as I think I need to get all the way around the back, and then I have to just sort of manually move it into the right position. So I'll show you that now. The other thing to think about when you're pulling a hose across a pavement is that people are going to walk there and they might not see it, so cones are essential to just warn people about the trip hazard. Okay, so this job here is a good example about parking in a good location for the job. So I park here just in this turning circle, and then it means my hose is straight in to the back, no obstacles in the way, nice and easy. Right, so this job here, what I do is I put the hose through that little fence and on the wall, and that enables me to be able to walk straight from the van all the way around the back without getting caught on anything. Right, so I'm at this location. I've got this property here, this one here, this one here, and this one here, and one down this road here. So it's good to park in the right place for this, so I can pull out a hose. I've done this one here, and now I need to head down there and round the corner, do that, and then come back to this one, and then do the one over there, and then finally this one. And I find that that's the best way to go about the jobs, so you're not getting tangled up with the hose. So yeah, that's the one there, and then you can follow the hose all the way up back to the van. When I do this one here, I do actually put the hose over the wall, That makes that one a little bit easier, and then head up to that one up there. These jobs are all finished now, so the last thing I've got to do is get the hose back to the van over there on that drive. So most of it is here, but there's no way that your hose reel, electric or someone winding it, will pull it all the way back and around there. So the idea is to get it close to the van. So I'm going to get the end from down here and take it with me as I go back to the van, get most of it near, and then drag the rest of it close before reeling it up. So that's the end of this video about hose management. Hopefully it was helpful to some of the people that are new to the industry. As I said earlier, the first day that I had a hose reel, you should have seen the tangles that I got in. And I thought, you think I'm going to get a van system and it's going to completely change the way I work, which it does. But you think it's so simple, you can just pull up at a job, pull the hose out, and you've got no worries, and you just get on with it. But it's not always that simple. Often you've got to go in between cars and down alleyways and round corners, but you soon learn and adapt, and you get used to it. So yeah, hopefully you found that helpful. And there's loads more videos coming. There's playlists on the channel, why not check them out? And there's normally a video every Saturday. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye for now.